Healthy habit number 5 of 16 is to consume a high quality protein source with each meal. Protein is vital for our human survival and also for optimal health and performance. So let's start off by listing the top 10 vital physiological functions that require protein. Next, let's discuss some key considerations for protein and muscle building. Building muscle is a complex process that requires a combination of resistance training, proper nutrition, and recovery. Of all the nutrients involved, protein is the most critical for muscle growth and repair. When discussing protein in relation to muscle building, there are several key considerations to keep in mind. These include ensuring your muscle protein synthesis exceeds your muscle protein breakdown, understanding the role of protein requirements in a caloric deficit versus a caloric surplus, and knowing how to optimize your intake for health and performance. First, let's discuss muscle protein synthesis versus muscle protein breakdown. For muscle growth to occur, your rate of muscle protein synthesis must exceed your rate of muscle protein breakdown. Essentially, this means that the body needs to be building more muscle than it's breaking down. Resistance training triggers muscle protein synthesis, creating a demand for amino acids, which, again, are the building blocks of protein, and they can only be met through dietary intake. Immediately following resistance training, your muscles enter a state of heightened sensitivity to protein, allowing them to absorb more amino acids, which is why consuming sufficient protein throughout the day is crucial for anyone looking to gain muscle mass. In simple terms, you can think of muscle building as a balance sheet. Muscle protein synthesis adds to muscle growth, and muscle protein breakdown subtracts from it. If your intake of high quality protein is sufficient and you're engaging in regular resistance training, you'll tip the balance toward growth over time. Second, let's discuss when you are in a caloric deficit versus a caloric surplus. Your protein needs will vary depending on whether you're in a caloric deficit or a caloric surplus. When you are in a caloric deficit, your body is naturally in a more catabolic state, meaning it is breaking down tissue for energy, which includes skeletal muscle tissue. This makes preserving lean muscle mass more challenging, and as a result, your protein requirements will be on the higher end of the range I've outlined earlier, generally around 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. The extra protein helps prevent muscle loss even when you are eating fewer calories than you burn. On the other hand, when you are in a caloric surplus, your body is naturally in a more anabolic state. This means that your body has enough energy to build and repair tissues, making it easier to gain muscle. During a caloric surplus, your protein needs are typically lower, around 0.8 grams to 1 gram per pound of body weight. This is because your body has more available energy to support muscle growth, and excess protein beyond what's required won't necessarily result in more muscle. Third, let's discuss protein's role in muscle building. Not all proteins are created equal. When it comes to building muscle, protein quality matters. High quality protein sources such as meat, fish, eggs, and dairy contain all 9 essential amino acids that the body cannot produce on its own. These are known as complete proteins. Incomplete proteins, often found in plant based sources, may lack one or more of these essential amino acids, making them less effective for muscle building unless they are carefully combined to provide all the necessary amino acids. One of the most important amino acids for muscle growth is leucine, which plays a pivotal role in stimulating muscle protein synthesis. For optimal muscle growth, it's crucial to consume high quality leucine rich proteins, especially after resistance training. Aim for at least 2 to 4 grams of leucine per meal, which you can usually get from around 20 to 40 grams of high quality protein. Fourth, let's discuss how much total protein intake you should be consuming for muscle building. Total daily protein intake is arguably the most critical factor in muscle building. While the exact amount can vary depending on individual goals and body composition, my general recommendation for muscle building based on my over 20 years of coaching experience is between 0.8 grams to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. For individuals who are highly active, training frequently, or in a caloric deficit, aim for the higher end of that range. For those who are in a caloric surplus or have lower training volumes, you can aim at the lower end and that will be sufficient. It's also important to distribute protein intake evenly across the day. Generally, consuming 20 to 40 grams of protein every 3 to 4 hours can help maximize muscle protein synthesis and support muscle repair and growth. This even distribution ensures that you are getting a consistent supply of amino acids, which is crucial for both building and maintaining muscle. Fifth, let's discuss protein and recovery. Building muscle isn't just about training and eating protein. Recovery plays a key role as well. Sleep, rest days, and stress management all influence how effectively your body can repair and grow muscle. Protein intake is especially critical during periods of recovery as it helps the body repair the microscopic tears in muscle fibers that occur during exercise. Failing to consume enough protein during recovery can result in suboptimal muscle repair and slower growth. To recap, the key considerations for protein and muscle building involve balancing muscle protein synthesis with muscle protein breakdown, adjusting protein intake based on caloric intake, ensuring the consumption of high quality protein, and distributing the protein intake throughout the day to maximize muscle protein synthesis. Additionally, protein is critical during recovery, helping to repair and rebuild muscle tissues. Next, let's discuss some special considerations with regard to fasting, exercise, and digestion. That was just a tiny taste of what can be found in my members only section. If you enjoyed it, become a member for only $5 a month to get access to hundreds of member only videos.